quick. We have a CFX, right? We check the 15 minute. We always want to be the 15 minute just to kind of see our range of a trade that could happen. Right here, I'm going to show you these indicators right here. These are smart money indicators. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to make a video on these for you guys. And all this basically is right here, this solid green. This is the buy section here. This is the week low. It touches the week low, starts to make its move up on the 15 minute moon, 15 minute. It has a pullback here, and it sits right here, which is nice. First pullback, so this is our entry point right here. We're gonna be looking to get this entry, right? We're gonna take a look at this entire entry off of this here at 37.80. And the reason why is we look up, now we have to say, okay, well, where's our target here? Our target is this strong high right here at 41 cents, right? So when we take a look here, first thing we're gonna do is see how we're gonna do if we get into this trade. How much could we possibly make? So the first move is if we get rejected off the moving average, the 200 moving average, which is a beautiful amount. That's a 5% move. Let's move this up to where our entry is, right? And that's 2%. That's a beautiful 2% move. It's nice, perfect. And if we break through there, which it looks like we should, we have a high profitability here at 62%, which is nice, which means we should at least get to this first target area here, which would be 4%. So this right here would be the target that we're looking for, right? And let me put a price gap on there. There's our target, right? So this is going to be the target that we're looking for the CFX, right? And let's go through this entire chart here, because what we're waiting for is we're waiting for coins to actually finish what they're doing. This is the target here. Oh, I didn't get my percent in there. Okay, there we go. Now that's what I'm looking for. And let's move this over here. Very nice. Okay, there we go. 4% move, right? Boom. Web capture. Slide this over. Here's our move. 15%. Web capture. 4% gain. First target right there. Okay, 15 minute. Now we're gonna say, how did we get to this trade, right? We're gonna slide over. And we're gonna get into the trade here, CFX, hold on one second. And let's go through the whole chart for CFX while we're here. Okay, so now we have to find what trade are we getting into. We have a 15 minute green moon, 15 moon here, right? So let me go ahead and set my buy here for CFX. I'm going to also start setting my buy here for, we'll come back to that, ID. All right, CFX. All right, CFX, we're in there, okay. I'm gonna slide here. I don't even know what my isolation is, so I can do a 75X, okay. All right, there we go, 75X. I'm gonna slide in at 40%. I'm gonna open along. All right, there we go. Now, let's slide through this trade. I'm only opening it right now because I'm gonna go through these charts and I'm gonna take a little bit of time here. So now, let's go back and say, okay, CFX looks good. What's the next chart look like? 30 minutes. The 30-minute RSI is oversold a little bit here, but it did bounce and it started to head back up, which we like to see. And then we go back to the 15-minute RSI and we realize it bounced and started to head up. So there's going to be some type of push here that we're going to see while this starts to move up. So remember, we like to wait for the 30 and 15 minute to be at the top and reset. But if the 30 already reset and the 15 came down and started to reset, we can look for a little bit of an early entry there and then cost average buy down if we do come down a little bit. But normally when this happens where the 30 minute came down and then started back up and the 15 minute came down and started back up, normally what that means is it's going to go sideways and kind of like build itself up. So now just to make sure that we have a buy zone, we would slide over here. We see right here that we have our green moon on our 5 minute. So the only other thing that we would wait for to clarify our entry or what position that we're going to get into would be a green trend line right here. So we need a green trend line here to be 100% of our entry, right? So that's what we're going to be waiting for. When that happens, we will be moving on to the next entry point, right? I'm just entering right here. I'm going a little bit early, but I'm going to cost average buy my way in. You guys should be waiting for this 5 minute green trend. All right, so now that we understand where our entry is, Let's build a case for this long. 45 minute, we have space here for the 45 minute to push up. That looks good. Take a look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour has its 50% line right here. This is it's halfway up, plenty of room. And here is our trade. The 1 hour moon, right? The 1 hour moon and 1 hour trend is our trade, right? This is the trade that we're looking for. Now let's rotate through there and say, okay, we have a 1 hour moon, 1 hour trend. What's next? 2 hour moon, right? With a 1 hour trend. That's a little bit further away. So this is a little bit further away. So that's not as close as we want it to be, but we do have a 1 hour with a 1 hour trend coming up. So that looks good. And more importantly, the 2 hour RSI just bottomed out and is crossing up. So that is a bullish factor for us. Now we move to the 3 hour. It just crossed over. So this is another bullish factor for us. So all the RSIs, right, are lining up in our favor. The only one that we're missing here is the 4 hour. Now that it needs to bend up and come up. So we could see a little more down pressure here before we get in there. But once this bends up, we have the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour all in our direction. This is a super good long trade. Slide to the daily just to take a look at like how long could I possibly hold this trade to see overall. And if we take a look here, we can see that we have a daily RSI about to hit a bottom, and that's going to be hella bullish when it turns up. So this might be a longer trade than we expect. So that's something to keep eyes on, right? So let's go back and say, okay, this all looks good. So what's my trade? My trade is what? The 1 hour moon. See how the 1 hour moon just hit? What did the 1 hour moon hit? 37.81. 37.81. See the flashing of the 1 hour moon? All right, so boom, we're gonna slide here. 1 hour moon. There we go. And next thing we have here, a lot of times when we have a 1 hour moon, the next thing that we really want to see is positive volume and a green trend, right? That's the things you want to look for. Green 1 hour moon, positive volume, and a green trend, or at least a significant jump in volume here. So this volume needs to basically, it's at this level, it needs to jump to at least this level or even this level, basically for us to say, man, there's a lot of volume coming in here. But the way the RSIs are set up, it seems that we're going to see that happen with the relative strength index being in that position. So this scenario puts us where we can actually say, okay, this looks like it's really lining up to be a good opportunity. So this is what we're looking for. With the flashing of the moon, we have to counter and say, what would be the downside to this trade, right? Where would I be losing? RSI still going up, 2 hour RSI in our favor, 4 hour, 3 hour, all in our favor. The 4 hour is about to be in our favor, and the daily is about to be in our favor. So none of the higher level RSIs are against me. So the odds of this going against me is about 50%, okay? Instead of it being more like 80 or 90, right? This is probably around 40%, right? So now I slide over and I look at my 15 minute, it resetted, right? I already know that that's kind of like the trigger for me to think of this long. And this particular move here, if I get what I want, it's 4%, but just to bounce off the moving average, the 200 moving average, I would get 2%. And now when I look at the 15 minute, I have this incredible buy zone here, right? All right, I have my change of character right here, comes down, starts to move up. And this is I'm getting my buy zone here on my indicator saying, okay, this is a pretty weak low here. And look how much volume it's already picked up, and it's starting to still move up. So this looks really, really good here. So the play for us to jump the gun would be, all right, so it looks like the 1 hour is coming along. So what's the next time frame down that I can secure myself and say, all right, I can see this trade. The next time frame down, right, take a look at the 45. You already have a green moon. You don't have a green trend yet, but you do have a green moon, right? 30 minute would be our trade session. Here's our 30-minute green moon with a green trend. So we are seeing progression here. It is going to work itself sideways somewhere in this little part. But because all the RSIs are moving in our favor heavily, the 2, the 1, all that happening, the 2, the 1, you know, in the 4 hour coming to an end and the daily coming to an end of a bottom, the pressure on the pullback is very light. So I could see where maybe a wick that comes in at that level, 37.51. So when I see that and I say, okay, man, let's say I wick down here, even down to this level here. Let's take an extra precaution. How much is that, right? Let's make sure that we're kind of like seeing what's happening here. So let's say that we wick down to the bottom of this candle here, right? Which is a really big wick from where we are there. That's about a 1.5% move, right? Which means if my stop loss is set up, it needs to be set up for a 1.5% move down, right? Which is a very unlikely move, but we want to be secure. So if I'm running a 50x, that means my stop loss would have to be like 75x. If I'm running an 80x, I would have to keep my stop loss at that same scenario at a 50%. So I'm willing to take a 50% loss here because I have to be there. I don't want to take a 75% loss, but I'm willing to take an 80% loss here and go against the grain here. Plus this doesn't really have crazy wicks, so I don't feel like I'm going to get wicked out as I look across the board. Doesn't really seem like there's a lot of crazy wicks that really happen just when they're actually on their way down. As you can tell, these wicks happen when the RSIs were heading down, right? So that's kind of like the scenarios of where we're at here. So as we look through CFX, it does look like we're in a really good position of an entry. So that's why we took that entry, and we're going to start building on what we have. So now moving to the 15-minute, green moon, green trend, we're building. Perfect. 5-minute, what do we got? There's our 5-minute green moon, and what are we looking for? We're looking for that green trend, and it does look like it's pushing up some volume. The only thing I would wait for here is to kind of see a reset of this 5-minute RSI, just to pull back down, and as soon as it bends and starts to go back up, that would be kind of like the key side. If you didn't get in on this green moon right here, if you didn't enter on that green moon, then you would wait for this RSI to have a little bit of a pullback, right? A little bit of a pullback, and then once it starts to head up, that would be your key to start looking for your entry positions, right? Because on this 5-minute trade, the key zone to buy was down here, right? See this green zone? You see that heavy green zone? The key buy zone would be in this area here. Now as we move forward to the 15-minute, where's our key buy zone? Right here, this entire area, right? And that's where we're at. We're on top of that area. Moving to our 30-minute, we're in our buy zone, same area. So this all looks like it's going to move up. Now, most of the times, these targets on these frames are going to be a lot higher. They're going to be in the middle of this section, bottom of this section. So 39.37 is a real reasonable target one. And we could see a nice little push as we get past it to the top of these. But we could be looking to get up here to change of direction area, sitting up in this area here at 41.44. So that's our secondary target here that we're really looking for. So we will take 50% profits as we move forward to these 4% in this area here, and then we'll let the other half run to that second set, because while this is developing, more than likely we will get our 4-hour RSI to bend in our direction. More than likely, as this is developing, we're going to get the daily to start to bend in our direction. The 3-hour is already in our direction. So man, we are nice here. This is why we're taking this long. We're playing all momentums for this ride. So that's the entry for your CFX is 3780, guys. That's our entry, 3780, guys. Right, 3780. And then our first target is 39.37, and then our second target is 41.41. That's your trade right there, guys. Other than that, good luck, God bless, but that is how you break it down and put yourself in that really good position. Now I want to show you, there's a new setup that I'll be bringing to you guys. And I can show you in TradingView. All that I'm doing is I create a all right. Screen freeze. What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Why you gonna freeze this up, bro? Let's see if I can transfer out of this. It's not even responding. Oh my god, too many things up on the computer. So we're gonna let that go, guys. That would be our trade right there. I'm gonna stop the stream right here while we get everything else together.